dedicated state employees up front who stood. Thank you. Thank you. George Martin, thank you very, very much for your kind introduction. Thank you also for your leadership of NewPage and your kindness in taking me on a tour of NewPage just, I believe, around this time last year or last spring at some point. I want to thank everyone at NewPage for the good work that they are doing, embracing the green revolution and contributing to our goals in Maryland for promoting sustainability. You know, we have a mission statement in our state government, and the first line of that mission statement is to strengthen and grow the ranks of an upwardly mobile middle class. And the work that this conference is doing, while certainly it is about sustainability and it's about our responsibility to the future, it's also about strengthening and growing the ranks of America's middle class, making it grow again, making it upwardly mobile, embracing innovation, embracing the challenges of these times, and turning them into opportunities. On the way in the green room, I don't know why they call it the green room, there wasn't much that was green in it, but in the green room, we call it the blue-green room, I saw Leo Gerard as I was coming in, and I said, Leo, how are things? He said, things are terrible. I said, yes, but they're going to get better. So turn to your neighbor. Tell him things are going to get better. Go ahead. Now turn to your other neighbor and tell him things are going to get better. Isn't it good to have a president who's actually on our side and trying to make this world and our country a better place? I want to thank all of my friends at the United Steelworkers, including my good friend Jim Strong, who's here with us today and is on my speed dial. This conference is not only important, but it's really essential in an era when sustainability may very well prove to be the defining issue of our times. Your leadership, your vision, your foresight to see the inherent connections that exist in this issue of sustainability is really, really important work. And understanding the connection between reviving our economy and rebuilding our country's job base and healing our planet at the same time is something for which we as Americans and really as citizens of an ever more interconnected world should be very, very grateful and mindful of. As we discuss the really complex and challenging issues stemming from global climate change and other environmental priorities, we're very fortunate to have leadership now at the national level who shares our commitment to progress on these important matters and who so very eloquently said that in his pledge to, quote, restore science to its rightful place, to restore science to its rightful place. And we saw this leadership demonstrated just yesterday when he ordered the Department of Energy to raise efficiency standards for home appliances. And we see this commitment in the President's American Recovery and Reinvestment Plan, which will help those of us in the states move forward towards the goals that we all share. Right now in the halls of the Senate, as Senator Mikulski told me by BlackBerry just a few seconds ago, we're in hand-to-hand combat for our country's future. We're capable of doing great things as a people. We have always been capable of doing great things as a people. The American public just needs to be challenged. They need to be given the leadership. And yes, we need to invest dollars today to make a better tomorrow. Let's get that Recovery and Reinvestment Act passed. We're also blessed to be able to tackle these challenges from the unique vantage point that we have in our own perspective as we stand on our own cutting edge of history, a point in human existence when our own creativity and imagination have expanded the outer bounds of human achievement and potential as never before, and by exponents never imagined. These factors are all the more important because we also live in times when our own human frailty and that compounding of the twin human propensities for self-destruction and hyper-consumption of our planet's resources threaten our American and global way of life as never before. We must again become that revolutionary people that we have always been. There is a result, a tremendous need right now for American leadership and innovation in what I like to call the three major issues of our times, what we might call the 3 S's of our 21st century challenges. What are those 3 S's? It's security, American leadership and security, American leadership and skills, and American leadership in sustainability. And woven throughout each of those S's is the inherent value and importance of unlocking, harnessing, and advancing green technologies and the green jobs that those technologies promise, of discovering new renewable forms of energy, bringing them quickly to scale, not just for ourselves, but for the entire world, and preparing our American workforce for the new realities of a knowledge-based global economy where the countries which lead in these green technologies are going to be the countries that are best positioned to expand opportunity and to expand prosperity for their own people. So the chosen topic of this conference, Good Jobs, Green Jobs, could not be more important. To this end, I wanted to spend our brief time together sharing with you some of the things that we're doing in Maryland to unlock, to harness, to advance the potential of green-collar jobs and sustainable technologies. We take great pride in the centrality that the state of Maryland has played since the beginning of the revolution, that central state, that middle state, that state that leads, especially and most importantly in times of great adversity. In Maryland, we've set a goal of creating at least 100,000 green jobs by 2015. And we're working across our state government along with partners in organized labor and in the private, academic, and nonprofit sectors to implement 20 action items which are designed to create new jobs, advance eco-friendly technologies, and provide more Marylanders with the skills they need to participate and maximize the benefits for their own families of the green economy. This Greener Jobs initiative is centered around 5 core strategies. Number 1, guided by our belief that Maryland is uniquely positioned for growth in the sustainability sector, we're aggressively working to attract, expand, and retain green businesses. Our state is blessed to have some of the world's leading institutions of science and discovery, public, private, and federal. NIH, Johns Hopkins, and the list goes on and on. We have an abundance of natural resources. We have one of America's most highly skilled workforces, the result of having what Education Week magazine declared 2 weeks ago to be the #1 public school system in the United States of America. We have some proud Maryland parents in the front row as well here. And we also had another result from College Board, which declared that our high school students are also #1 in terms of the numbers of our high school students that take AP exams and the level of achievement of the students that take those AP exams, and the tremendous work that we're doing in reducing the traditional achievement gaps is really impressive. As our administration works to leverage these assets to attract new business opportunities to Maryland, we've made the sustainability sector one of the 3 priority areas, along with technology and life sciences. And actually, all 3 tend to blend, don't they? We're moving forward aggressively to design and implement policies that guide state investments towards these areas. Recently, Milken Institute moved Maryland up from 4th in the nation to 2nd in terms of life science and biotechnology, and increasingly, the promise for green technologies, for renewable energies, are things that are stemming out of a lot of that research in life science and biotech, and will continue to morph as well into agriculture and improving yields. Number 2, we're working with our existing industries to assist them in adopting more sustainable practices, helping them to protect their own bottom line, helping our planet, creating jobs from Maryland-based companies that provide services like installing solar panels and retrofitting buildings that make them energy efficient. As the great communicator Bill Clinton once said, these are going to be jobs that stay in America.